Hello children, hope you all are well and following the necessary precautions for COVID-19. Today I am going to take the lesson My Kingdom. Today we are going to do with the explanation of this poem My Kingdom. So in this poem My Kingdom is written by R.L. Stevenson. This poem is mainly upon child's dream. The poet says that the children very often live in their own world. हम कह सकते हैं कि सब बच्चों की अपनी दुनिया होती है. And while being in their own world, the real world appears very strange to them. In this poem also, the poet gives the view of such a little child. The little boy sees a little pond filled with water. Down by a shining water well, I found a very little dell. In these lines, the little boy sees a little pond filled with water, which was shining by the sun rays. Near it was a small valley, which had small wild plants and bushes not bigger than the child, no higher than my head, the heather and the gourds about. In summer bloom were coming out, like the season was the summer, and there were flowers everywhere blooming out. The flowers had some yellow and some red, means the color of the flowers, some were yellow and some were red. I called the little pool a sea. Now this little well was like a little pool to the child. The little hills were big to me. Now these little hills, they were very big to the child, as for I am very small, as the child here was very small. So the little hills were very big to the child. Now to take the round of this small valley, I made a boat. I made a town. So what did the child do? I made a boat. He made a boat to take the round of his town, which is been made. I made a town, which has been made by the child. I searched the caverns up and down. Now caverns here means the caves. So what did he search for? He searched for the caves up and down this town. I named them one and all. Now, as the town in the real world has various names and the caves are also given the names. So the child also, as the town was the child's own, so he named the caverns and the towns one and all. And all about was mine, I said. Now this all was the child's own. So he said that this all things in this valley belong to me. The little sparrows overhead, the little minnows. Minnows are the small freshwater fishes. So the child says the little sparrows, यानी जो चिड़ियाएं थी छोटी छोटी, और little fishes fresh water की वो सारी जो चिड़ियाएं ऊपर उड़ रही है, और little minnows, those that are flowing in the water, they all belong to me. This was the world and I was the king. The child says, this is my world and I am the king of this world, which has been created by me. For me the bees came by to sing. The child says, the bees also come here to sing for me. For me the swallows flew. The birds in this valley also flew for me. I played there were no deeper seas. The child says, I played in this kingdom where there were no deep seas. Means in the real world the seas are very deep, but here in this own valley of child the seas are no deeper, so he played there. Nor any wider plain than these. The child says that this plain was fully sufficient and there was no other plain wide than these, nor other kings than me. So there was no other king to claim that this kingdom belongs to him. He was the whole soul king of his own belly. At last, I heard my mother call. So, while playing in this own valley created by the child, he forgot about the time and he was interrupted by his mother call. Mother, उसकी मम्मी ने उसे बुलाया. Out from the house at evenfall. Evenfall here means evening time. The child had forgotten what the time was. So what happened over here? It was the evening time. So the child thought, yes, my mama has called me from the house as it is evening time. So to call me home to tea. So why his mama must have called? His mama must have called him for the evening snacks and tea. And I must rise and leave my dell. So he said, now it's time, as my mother has called me, so it's the time that I must rise and leave my dell. So it's the time to go from my valley and leave my water well, dimpled water well. So dimpled water well, now the water which was shining, he has to leave that small water pond and leave my heather blooms. So and leave the fresh flowers that were blooming, wild flowers that were blooming. Alas, and as my home I neared. Why alas? Because the child is feeling very sad to leave the kingdom he has created in his own mind. And as my home I neared. The child says, now I am near to my home. How very big my nurse appeared. नर्स को हम आया कह सकते हैं. तो यहाँ क्या कह रहा है वो कि यस, वो जो आया थी वो मुझे बहुत बड़ी लगने लगी. वो घर पे खड़ी बाहर इंतजार कर रही थी, तो वो उसे रियल वर्ल्ड की आया जो है बड़ी, उस तरह से वो बहुत बड़ी सारी लग रही थी. हाउ ग्रेट एंड कूल द रूम्स. और उसी तरह से उसके घर के रूम्स भी उसे बहुत कूल और ग्रेट और बड़े लगने लगे थे. ये आज की पोएम का एक्सप्लेनेशन. थैंक यू चिल्ड्रन. स्टे होम, स्टे सेफ. थैंक्स.